I want to tell you why Dutch tests are amazing. So first of all, they stand for a dried urine test for comprehensive hormones. And basically what that means is they are checking a variety of hormones and neurotransmitters. Now the difference between a Dutch test and a blood test is a blood test will show you how much of the hormone you've got in your bloodstream. A Dutch test does that too. It's going to show you how much progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, DHEA, pregnenolone, all the other bits and pieces of cortisol. It's going to check cortisol. Tells you all of that. But not only does it tell you how much of that hormone you have in your body, it also tells us what you are doing with that hormone. And the most important hormone that we're really looking at is what you're doing with your estrogen. Here's where it gets really exciting. With estrogen, your liver has 3 options for how it detoxes your estrogen, 3 pathways. Now, those pathways, we're supposed to detox through each of the pathways in a certain ratio. However, if we're detoxing through one of those pathways too much, it can actually be really, really toxic. That's the pathway that can lead to all sorts of things that women do not want, things like breast cancers, etc., etc. It's a really inflammatory estrogen pathway. The great thing about Dutch testing is we can see if that's where you're headed, and we know exactly how to supplement to shift you into a different pathway. It's utterly brilliant. I think that all women should have this before they even go on HRT. It's mind-blowing. It also checks other things. It tells us if your thyroid's struggling. It's not a thyroid panel, but it tells us if your thyroid is struggling because we can see through how you're working with cortisol. And there's a whole load of other stuff it tells us, and that can really indicate if your diet's working or not. And yes, they are a bit costly. I get that. However, they are so brilliant and they really help to set you up to know which supplements to take, whether or not the HRT you're on is suiting you and serving you, and it can really answer a lot of questions. So I just think it's money well spent when so many of us are rummaging around trying to find the answers and spending loads of money on supplements that might be the wrong ones for us. So I do strongly recommend them, and I do recommend checking out the Hormone Wellness website to have a look to see how much they cost and what it would look like to get that analysed by a professional, and then the recommendations for supplements.